destroy the bastard.
This program brought to you by Subaru Liberty GT. 3 drives, 1 car.
Callahan ran a personal best at 640. Turns the wheel in. There's a touch, he's gone! So much one wide. With 3 rounds down in the country's Elite Drift Series, all eyes are now focused on the back end of the season and the coveted 07 Championship. In treacherous conditions, the finest drifters of the land converged on Sydney's Eastern Creek Raceway in a bid to obtain crucial championship points and gain some vital momentum as the season end draws ever nearer. Enter Tom Monkhouse. The young South Aussie defied all odds to claim his first ever round win, single-handedly taking care of Team Pier in the process. This round, the Sideways Circus heads north to sunny Queensland Raceway. Last year, the paperclip was the scene of some of the finest drifting ever seen down under, with local Robbie Bolger taking home the gong. With the clock winding down on season 07, it's now or never as the best drifters in the land go head-to-head in a battle royale here at round 4 of the Toyo Drift Australia Series.
Welcome race fans for round 4 of the Toyo Drift Australia Series from lovely sunny Queensland Raceway. And what a stark contrast it's been to Eastern Creek, where Turbo Tom Monkhouse took the narrowest win over Darren Afro Appleton. Now the Afro coming off a bit of an interesting 2006 series, but he's on fire this year. 2 fourths and a second last round sees him on top of the championship table. Mate, it's been a rise for you this year.
It has. With a lot of help from Team Pier. We've done very well, all 3 cars in the top 6.
It's certainly a big difference from last year. What's the key to the success?
We've been working away behind the scenes and, just doing everything that we possibly can and just putting a lot of hard hours in.
Now, it's going to be an interesting round for you because you could really take the championship lead this weekend.
Well, that's right. This is the business end of the series. Everyone's on fire. It's like dialed in. It's going to be a great round, and boy, it's tough.
You're sitting on a different car, though. Tell us what's going on here.
Don't you worry about that, Jace. This thing's an absolute animal. Had a little bit of problems with mine, but this one's good to go.
Well, it's all looking good for the Fro this weekend. Now, he's 10 points clear of Corporal Christian Pickering on the championship table. Next up is Adam Borneo Truella, Leighton Fine, rampaging Robbie Bolger, Bo the Show Yates, Tom Monkhouse and Chris Easton rounding out the top 8. Well, as you can see, it's going to be an absolutely huge round, and Queensland Raceway's got a tricky format, but no one knows it better than this man here. So let's take a hot lap with the Fro.
Okay, you're riding with Darren Appleton for a lap of Queensland Raceway. Start in second, into third, short shift into third, clutch it in about here. Bit of handbrake to trim it up, nice on the apex. Middle rev limiter, go wide here, but come in on the right hand side of this corner. And through the middle, this is difficult. All the way through, just feathering the throttle, try to touch those tyres. And then through to the turn 6, go wide, a bit of rev limiter, try to keep the revs right up to keep your speed up, as wide as you can there. And that finishes it off. Thanks very much.
The Queensland Raceway track is going to seriously challenge the Drift Australia drivers this weekend, and on top of that, they've got to deal with last year's round winner, Robbie Bolger. But Robbie's not the only one with a V8. There's a local boy who's made some upgrades.
End of last year, start of this year, we went through 4 turbo 1600s. Just got sick of paying for them, so I figured something a bit bigger, a bit more reliable, standard sort of output with the same sort of power as we're getting out of the turbo, and we had to keep it Toyota, so this is what we came up with. It's a Toyota 1UZ quad cam 4-litre V8. Basically what we did is we got a standard motor. They come in Lexuses and Land Cruisers, basically a whole range of Toyotas, pretty common. Really well built motor for not a lot of money. Basically we ripped it apart, didn't touch the whole motor itself, put an aftermarket inlet system with the 8 throttles on it, made our own exhaust for it, put it all together, chucked an Adaptronic computer on it, gave it a bit of a dyno tune last week, good to go. Basically, we're getting about 200 horsepower at the tyres, which is not a huge amount in comparison, but the torque is probably 2 or 2.5 times more than the turbo 1600 at a lot lower revs, so it's quite a different driving experience. But the main thing is it's a stock motor, so it's going to be reliable at that output. It's a different driving experience. The power delivery is quite different to the turbo motor, different rev range, and obviously quite a lot stronger down low, so it's going to be a lot of adapting to the driving style. A lot of it setup in the suspensions required, obviously, because it's quite a different setup. But we definitely think we're going to get there, and I think it's going to be a good thing.
No, it's gone! Kuda has gone!
Last round at Eastern Creek, the Barracuda's car took a massive hit here, and it was bright blue. But this weekend, it looks $1 million.
Mate, it was awesome. We went through a lot of carnage, damage, but the results were awesome. Coming fourth in that weather conditions against the Yates here, it was awesome. I can't believe it.
Well, you certainly did, mate. You did take fourth, and this thing is absolutely on fire.
Mate, I hope it stays that way. This handling and the power is just all coming together now, especially with me driving it.
Well, it looks absolutely fantastic now.
Well, thanks to Doug from Hopper Smash and the boys Sam and Gordon for really, putting the hours in and getting it looking nice.
Well, if you drive as good as this car looks, mate, you're on for a good weekend.
I think so.
Well, qualifying has been run and won, and it's Fergalicious, Fernando Well, who's in the #1 spot. So let's check out the top 32.
Fernando Well's dream start to the weekend continued in the top 32. Mechanical Gremlins again attacked Max Sampson's Sexpo Sora, and the top qualifier was through. George Bartalis was up next against Michael Truscott from Victoria. Despite being evenly matched during qualifying, Truscott delivered a strong performance in both battles to take the win and progress to the top 16. Lyndon Reynolds then went head-to-head with Team Piers Bow, the show Yates. Reynolds was looking to continue his good run after placing 6th at Eastern Creek, but Yates posted convincing wins in both battles, sending South Aussie Reynolds in for an early shower. After rolling his Racing Logic 180SX in G1 at Ballala, Jack Monkhouse returned to Drift Australia with the car ready to go. WA's Adam Borneo Truella was too strong though and progressed through to the top 16. New South Wales's Nathan Weisel then went up against round 3 winner Tom Monkhouse. With their first battle too close to call, a rerun was demanded by the judges. Weisel took the first battle with a good showing of speed, but Monkhouse was too strong in the second, putting an end to Weisel's weekend. Dan Mackey's first battle in the Shoreflow 300ZX was one to be forgotten. A spin in the first run made it virtually impossible to progress through, and despite a win in the second battle, it wasn't enough to beat WA's Keith Rance overall. Queensland's hero Darren Appleton and Josh Young were both out to establish dominance on their home track. Afro Appleton put up a good fight at the borrowed S13, but Young had his new V8 singing and Afro was sent packing. Clint Brown in the Millock Civil R32 Skyline was up next against Wheelworks' Adam May. May's dominance in the first run was enough to set him up for the win and progress through to the top 16. Queensland's Eugene Aronson was unable to post a qualifying run, which set him up against second top qualifier Leighton Fine. Aronson was on fire on his home track, outclassing Fine and knocking him out in the first round for the first time this year. Problems with his Go Fast Bits R33 Skyline forced Krista Jager into a borrowed car for the top 32. Matt Mingay, however, had fixed the gremlins in his VY Commodore after the Eastern Creek round and showed his home crowd what the big black beast was capable of. A rerun was called after the first battles between Robbie Bolger and Japanese Motorsports' Danny, the Godfather Vahumis, were too close to split. Contact between the two rivals made it a tough one to call. The judges eventually handed the win to Bolger. Again plagued by mechanical issues, the Drift Cat was once more a first-round victim. She put up a good fight in the Drift Performance Products 1-via, but Victoria's Luke Fink held it down to progress through. After contact with the wall in qualifying, James Rosser seemed a little rattled in his battle with Christian Pickering. Pickering took a strong lead in the first round, and Ross's spin in the second handed an easy win to the Corporal. Josh James was looking for retribution after a disappointing round at Eastern Creek. Unfortunately for him, he drew the red-hot Kudar El Huli in the first round. The devastating form of the Victorian was on show as he powered his V8 Sylvia through to the next round. Christian de Gostin again fronted up with the VIP Pet Foods VE Commodore, this time against Dan Keneally. Keneally puts in a 9-point run in the first battle and another strong run in the second to continue through to the next round. In an epic final battle in the top 32, a second rerun was called between Chris Easton and the crowd-pleasing Just Jap R31 Skyline and Phillips in the Gold 180SX. Phillips took the first 9-1 and hung on by a thread in the second, leaving Easton to lick his wounds.
Well, we're through one round of racing and now it's time to check out the top 16.
As usual, Racing Jason is fully amped as we turn our attention to the Toyo top 16 here at Queensland Raceway. Fernando World is highest point scorer, the top man, up against Michael Truscott. Andrew Hawkins joins me in commentary. This will be an interesting matchup as we set him off in battle number 1.
Yes, well, the Fergalicious superstar himself is amped after that number 1 qualifying. The Auto Salon team are ecstatic and watching with a lot of intensity on that pit wall as they come down now to the first VIP Pet Foods corner. Good entry from both drivers. You can see Truscott is charging hard to try and get good proximity on Fernando as they come through the VIP Pet Foods corner now into the Toyo S's.
Well, this is a magnificent car. It's never fully delivered in the hands of Fernando. He needs a big round here at QR. Truscott is giving him heaps of curry, though.
Have a look at that as they come to that main straight. Bush firing the tyres through that Toyo Firebrake. Plenty of power in the Auto Salon car, 300 kilowatts plus at the wheels. Now we go to the replay. You can see just how close Truscott's trying to get on the inside of Fernando.
Not much at all in this battle. The judges will be probably scratching their heads here. Both guys very good. If anything, Truscott a little higher there. Both guys, good line, good angle as we set them loose for battle number 2.
Well, now coming in with Truscott leading, you'll see that Fernando, he's had trouble in the past trying to get this car to work at lower speeds, but Truscott pushing nice and fast, so Fernando can push nice and hard as well. Coming through the Toyo S's, Fernando's not quite as close here as what Truscott was, but let's see if they can close that gap as they come through the Toyo Firebrake. A little bit there from Fernando, slowing down a little bit. Can he gain that ground back up?
Bit of a straighten for Fernando. I think it might hurt him. I think Truscott may have it here. Let's have a look at the replay. It was just before then. A bit of a straighten for Fernando. Truscott, I think, looks pretty good here. We'll see what the judges have to say.
I feel sorry for some of these judges, though. Fernando just takes it with 11-9 over Truscott.
That is a big result, 11-9. Well, Bo, the show Yates up against Adam Truella here. These two had an absolute rampage at Eastern Creek. I think it's going to continue here, Andrew.
There won't be any love lost between the show and the animal mother, Truella. The last round was one of the best battles we saw with a rerun in the wet. But what's going to happen this time with dry weather? The little A86 versus the big girl, the Safira. But look at them so far. Plenty of power as we go to the chase car footage now from Truella's car as they come through the S's, now hitting the Toyo Firebrake.
Yeah, the VIP Pet Foods chase camera giving us some great pics. Look at this. The Hachiroku, as always, in the hands of Bo the Show Yates. A formidable combination. I think he's laid the smackdown a bit in this first battle. The Millock Civil entry. Here's a magnificent shot off the side of the car.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, whenever you look at the rear tyres of the animal mother Safira, there is always going to be plenty of smoke. But Bo the Show proving just how fast he is again when he was leading on that run. Now we switch it over with the animal mother leading in the Millock Civil Safira on this run.
So Sydney sider Bo Yates putting the heat, big time to the West Aussie, got into the side of him.
Looks that right into the side of the Safira. That's how hard he was pushing in there. As they say, Rubbin's racing. We'll have to see what the judges say, though. It didn't knock the animal mother off his line, though, so it didn't actually affect his drift, so the judges may not penalise him for that one. We'll have to wait for the replay. But look at them now. The Toyo Firebrake blazing the rear treads as they come onto the main straight.
There was the impact right then. Good driving, too, from Truella, not to be caught off guard by that. Here's the impact here. Boom! Into the side goes the Show. Excellent driving from Truella. He takes the win, 12-8, and Borneo's heading to the Toyo top 8.
Well, my friends, you've opened your account by beating Bo the Show.
Mate, I'm here and I've just beaten the show. Can't believe it, let's go.
Don't go anywhere, because after the break, we're back here at Queensland Raceway for more drift action.
These championships will be, I think, the best Australian team we have going into a championship for years and years.
Sally McClellan could make the 100-metre hurdles final.
So just get out there and run as fast as you can and don't let anyone beat you.
I also like Bronwyn Thompson.
I don't see any reason why she can't be jumping over 720.
Mottram is the one that all the emphasis is going to be on.
Everybody wants it and everybody dreams about it.
Join our experienced team of competitors and commentators for the World Championships in Athletics, August 25th to September 2nd.
Your engine knows what it wants. Do you? Pennzoil Platinum.
Make no mistake, our mining industry is driving our economy. Flexible workplace arrangements are critical to driving productivity and prosperity. Over 50% of Australian miners are now on workplace agreements.
The boss and I talked about what works best for us both. With a young family, I wanted flexibility. But if we're made to tear up our agreement, we both lose. And there's nothing right or fair about that.
Let's keep workplace reform. Authorised by R. Crawford, National Business Action Fund Limited, Canberra.
At Optus, we've heard you'd like better value.
You've seen the size of this phone bill?
So we're introducing Australia's first home phone and broadband cap with unlimited local, national and calls to Optus mobiles. It includes line rental and 2 gig a month of fast broadband with $0 installation. All for just $69 a month for customers on the Optus network. We've heard Telstra won't be happy. So call now on 1800 555 558.
Yes, we hear you.
Welcome back to the Toyo Drift Australia Series. We're smack bang in the middle of the top 16. Let's go back to the action.
Good battle looming right here between Tom Monkhouse and Keith Rance, the Delhi boy. And there is Monkhouse, who had an excellent performance at Eastern Creek Raceway. Andrew's got to be feeling good coming into this one.
Well, after taking the win at the last round, he is on a high. But one man who is driving so much better at this round is Keith Rance. In qualifying, he showed his true potential now as we start coming in to the VIP Pet Foods corner. We switch to the chase car footage. Look at the big entry from both drivers. Tight line to begin with from Monkhouse before he comes a little bit wider there, watches off a little bit of speed, gives the chance for Rance to push in a little bit closer as they come through the S's. Look at Rance getting right in there, has to make a couple of corrections though, and loses a little bit of ground as he has that. And now they come to the Toyo fire brake onto the straight, and they are keeping it nice and tight as they come through.
Very even battle, that one. Both guys putting in solid drives. Just watch for the Millard Civil entry here. Just drifts right out wide. He had to back out. Monkhouse certainly had the line. Battle number 2. This will be pretty even as they come towards VIP corner.
Now let's see what Rance can do. Leading this time, he wants to put a bit of speed on. There's plenty of power under the hood of that S14. But look at Monkhouse. So he's down on power, but pushing nice and hard, using the speed and the inertia of the car to get in there. But then when they come out of that corner, Rance can put the pedal down and start to gain a little bit of ground.
Both guys with good line and good angle. Entry is good too. Whoa, you wouldn't want to be a judge on this one. Rance keeps a good line off the corner. Let's have a look at what the judges have to say about this one.
Now, taking a look at the replay, you can see Rance has a lot of superior speed over Monkhouse. Now, Monkhouse hasn't got as much power as the S14 does. He's trying everything that he can to get in there, but the superior speed of Rance looks like it's going to give him the win.
Let's have a look. It does. An 11.9. Monkhouse is out the back door. Rance is through to the Toyo top 8.
Keith Rance, you just took out last round winner.
Man, I don't even know what I'm doing here. It's unreal, I'm stoked.
I tell you what, you're driving like a man possessed. How's the car going?
Car is awesome this weekend, awesome. Thanks.
And that was a very tough battle with Tom Monkhouse.
Oh man, he's an awesome driver. I can't believe I'm here.
Good luck, you're through to the next round.
Thanks, mate.
An unusual combination on your screen right now. Josh Young sporting a V8-powered Toyota up against the Nissan Silvia of Adam May. Now, Andrew, tell us about this awesome car of Josh Young.
Well, Josh Young, after having an expired engine after the last round that he competed in, wanted to switch to something different, has gone for V8 power, but unlike the other guys, he has gone for a quad-cam Lexus V8 under the hood of that little hutchie, and it's starting to pay off for him. It's a new setup, but he's coming to grips with it. Adam May, they're very messy as he comes through the VIP Pet Foods corner. As they switch back now through the S's, can May push on the inside? It looks like he's getting a little bit closer in there as he comes through the S's to clean up Young coming onto the last corner.
He gathered him right up. That was an excellent drive. It looked dodgy early, but he came back very strongly towards the end of that battle. Josh Young, good line there, almost in danger of a straighten just there. Had to re-flick it in, and just have a look at how May climbed all over him towards the last part of that battle. He looked a bit scrubby early, but it looked better towards the end, I think, Andrew.
Well, that's right. He's certainly managed to redeem himself in the second half of the run, but now Mayhem May will be leading, and it's an RB25 power, so it's got plenty of power. Look at the long entry, using the handbrake to extend that slide a little bit further to make it into that first corner. You see May looking back over his shoulder to see where Josh Young is behind him.
Well, it's a good battle, this one. I think at the moment, May looks pretty solid. Nice work through the horseshoe and then back onto that fire brake now, thanks to Toyo tyres. Again, checking where he is, but he spanked the V8 on this one. Josh Young losing a fair bit in speed. What will the judges say about it?
Well, look at this replay. You can see both drivers have a good line as they come through the S's. You can see May now taking a good charge here. A little bit of a straighten up from Josh Young as he comes through there. And it's paid off for Mayhem May with a 13-7 victory over the V8-powered sprinter of Josh Young.
Adam Mayhem May firing through to the next round.
Yeah, it's killer, Jason. The team's worked extremely hard to get it here through last night, and to keep going through is awesome. Awesome.
You've had some turbo problems, but everything's sorted?
Yeah, another guy lent us a turbo for the last night. They pulled it off late last night. We got it going, so hopefully I can keep pushing through.
Well, some serious muscle here in the hands of Matty Mingay, looking seriously confident as well. Eugene Aronson, the big winning grin of Eugene. This will be a good battle, I'm sure, Andrew. Away we go into VIP.
Well, it's 4-cylinder turbo power versus carburetted V8 power. What a contrast. But Matty Mingay turned from the world of stunt driving and riding into drifting now as he comes through. You can see he's taken that crossover quite well and putting on a good performance. Can he hold it, though, as he comes through the Toyo S's?
Well, he's lost a lot of distance here. The speed is good for Aronson so far. Whoa, Mingay, he goes agricultural.
Oh, and he's off onto the dirt on the outside of the fire brake as well. Look at this as he comes through, takes an inside line, a little bit too inside though, hits the ripple strip, upsets the car, then it pushes him wide out onto the dirt of the outside of that corner, so that obviously the win on that one will go to Aronson, but now there's one more run left to go.
Plenty of pressure on Mingay now. He's going to have to do something decisive. Aronson's going to have to cough it up. Very good entry from both. Nice and early. Big flick in. Little bit of a straighten just then from Mingay. Aronson, I think, is certainly putting the pressure on.
Well, after the spin in the last battle, all Eugene needs to do is have a nice, clean run. He doesn't need to do anything outlandish. And as you can see, he's staying in a little bit of straighten from Eugene, though. But I don't think it will affect him too much after that last battle. Now, as they come through the fire break, there is plenty of smoke to see in the air.
It was definitely a straighten, but it's not as serious as the spin out from Mingay before. They go out of that turn. It's a 14-6. That's a kill for Aronson. He goes through to the Toyo top 8.
Lean Mean, show us the $1 million smile. You're through.
Yeah, I can't believe it. It's great. After having so many issues, it's just coming together. Going up there.
Now, you had a big bad battle with Matty Mingay. I tell you what, he's a strong performer.
He's unbelievable. He's got great speed, good angle, and just a smoke trail that he can leave behind. You just can't see anything.
Well, mate, you've got the home track advantage. Good luck. You're through to the next round.
Thanks, Jace.
Well, what a battle this is going to be. The 2003 BMX World Street Champion up against a guy who saw a kid ride a BMX once. Luke Fink up against Robbie Bolger, the Mad Irishman. Away we go. Battle number one. The defending champ of the Queensland Raceway round is Robbie B.
Well, Robbie Bolger has led the charge of V8s in the Toyo Drift Australia Series, and Luke Fink is one driver who can show some serious flashes of brilliance, but hasn't been quite consistent enough. He had a bit of a straighten up through there. Look at the speed that Robbie Bolger can take through there as he starts to pull away from the Holford Motors S14.
Well, the trouble for Fink is he lost a lot of speed early, a bit of a straighten, and Robbie B is going to cane him for it. Bolger, a strong run. Fink's car looks sensational, but Bolger in the VIP Pet Foods entry, 800 horsepower at the right foot, is going to be a tough prospect.
Well, it's got plenty of power now. Robbie Bolger has managed to get the grip up there even further, so the car is very fast. Look at the big entry from Fink. Uses the handbrake to extend, so it was a bigger entry than what Robbie had. A little bit of ripple strip action there from Robbie as he goes over.
Look at Robbie bagging him up big time, though. He's going to put Fink under the hammer big time here. Excellent angle from Fink. Robbie almost T-bones him.
Look how close Robbie got in there. Now, he took note of what the judges said. They want to see proximity and emulation, and Robbie Bolger has plenty of that as they come through the fire break onto the straight. Let's go to the replay. Look how tight he wants to get in there. Most drivers would have backed out of that, but not Robbie. He kept into it. He's not worried about a little bit of rubbing with another car in front and gets nice and close. And will it pay off? Yes, it does. Look at that.
Massive kill. 17-3. Robbie B through.
Rampaging Robbie Bolger, you've just taken down Luke Fink.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Unfortunately, Luke had a couple of problems, so unfortunately, but we're through.
You certainly are, mate. It's your home track. You won here last year. You're going for it, aren't you?
I'd love to try and win here. 2 in a row. Nobody's done it yet, but it's anybody's game. Everybody's so close now. It's unbelievable.
This is a rerun. Kudar El Houli up against Corporal Christian Pickering, and Kudar, no smiles for the camera. He is all business. Just a 2-finger salute from the Corporal. Rerun time right now. Someone looking for an outright kill.
Well, they're going to push even harder on this one because they couldn't split them after the last one. Look how hard Kudar is pushing on the inside of the Corporal. The fact that he's even up there with one of the best drivers in the country just goes to show how much better Kudar has got over these last 2 rounds. Both drivers very, very tight inside line. Both washed off a little bit of speed there, but good emulation from Kudar now as they come through the Toyo firebreak onto the straight.
Poetry in motion from these two. There's no way judges can split that. Both guys, excellent angle. If anything, Corporal a little better in the angle side of things. No real straightens to speak of. Just a copybook run for both drivers.
I feel sorry for these judges time and time again. Let's lead them off now. Kudar El Houli will be in the lead for this run. There's a lot of grip under the back of that CTS 180SX, so let's see what can happen. Good entry from both drivers. The Corporal knows he needs to charge nice and hard on the inside. Gets lost in the smoke screen of that LS1 powered S13. Now they come through the S's. The Corporal needs to get a little bit tighter. He goes off onto the dirt a little bit there, so ruins his line a little bit to try and keep close. Look at that.
Kudar got it stepped out beautifully. Pickering, you couldn't even see him. The perfect line from Kudar El Houli. He had it covered. He had excellent angle, good line. Look at the smoke, fully bagged, plenty of style. Not that it counts, but hey, an excellent run. 12-8. He puts the Corporal away. Bit of Corporal punishment. Top 8 for El Houli.
Kudar the Barracuda El Houli, you've taken down the Corporal.
I can't believe it. It's amazing. A rerun and I still got it. That is consistency.
This V8 beast is working hard.
Mate, she's working hard. I'm giving it all it's got. I don't care anymore.
So Danny Keneally in my favourite ute. This thing is tough, isn't it? The Scivia ute up against Mark Phillips. Now this thing is a weapon, Andrew.
Yes, it's a borrowed car. He's actually on holidays at the moment, Mark Phillips, and someone offered him a drive in this tough 180SX. RB30 bottom end with a 25 head and over 350 kilowatts at the wheels. It has absolutely massive amounts of power.
Well, Keneally almost blew it then. He almost got a big straight and went off the circuit. He's got it back nicely now. Excellent angle, good line. Phillips in unfamiliar territory, though he's done a few passes already.
Yes, that car is a very brand new car. It has no testing before this round, so Mark Phillips didn't have the chance to set the thing up, and I think it might be starting to show. He's not able to put as much angle on as what Danny Keneally was, who has that car much better set up over the last year of testing.
Bit of a straighten just then coming out of the fire break just there.